Welcome to Full Week Recap. I'm Dart, and we're going to review TV, movie, and video game news from the week. Speaking of which was... Pokemon announces a new mobile game. Star Wars is everywhere. Telltale announces a new Batman game. Mystery Science Theater 3000 is back thanks to crowdfunding. Pokemon was the biggest franchise of all time in the 90s and slightly further. After this much time, the hype isn't what it used to be. The kids who loved it before are now big adult children who will swallow Pokemon content down hard. The kids who love it now probably don't, because they walked into a giant, overwhelming nightmare of features and too many Pokemon to remember in one rap song. To keep their product feeding on living souls as long as possible, Nintendo has authorized the creation of an augmented reality Pokemon video game for mobile phones. Some questions could be, how does combat work? How do you go to a Pokemart? Are there gyms? Are we the gyms? Pokemon Go, as it's called, could either mean the extinction of mankind, or just another version of Ingress. A mobile app that kind of lets you hold your phone up and you can see a virtual environment in front of it. A virtual world where you have to use your phone to view the made-up crap and portals that it displays in said environment. If this game is similar to Ingress, the locations of Pokemon are real-life locations to find with your phone's GPS. So where exactly are they going to stick legendary Pokemon? While sounding both interesting and fun, anyone who plays Ingress knows it would take a lot of traveling to actually accomplish anything. Is this going to be a title that actually gets us up and outside? Outside.
Star Wars. It is here, it is in the theaters, it is in the news. You can't hide from it. You can't stop hearing about it. It has invaded and won.
Star Wars is everywhere. It's even in this video. Help.
The phrase Star Wars and people gleefully being glib about their seeing it before you overflows at maximum level. Although in the history of Star Wars, every single one has had mass hysteria about it. So it isn't just Star Wars, but the entire history of anything Star Wars that has a kind of fanatic, almost occultist following. Why is there always massive hysteria? Think about Frozen. With that kind of massive wave of merchandise, even years after its release, it is really just sort of a trend. When a movie hits that sweet spot of popularity, it gets ridden out until every last drop of its life force has withered away. So no, you won't stop hearing about Star Wars, and you won't for years and years and years and years. Telltale Games teases that they are developing a new Batman game. They have already done The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Minecraft, and Borderlands. Telltale Games has their fingers in a lot of pies. Their games are all mostly choice-based, item-collecting adventure games. All of their titles follow a basic formula. It's usually following its own story with cameos from known characters to keep people, interested. That means this new Batman game will be a new story with new characters made by Telltale Games, with little dashes of Batman stars to keep you from getting thirsty. Maybe they're going to give you a line of dialogue here, or a dialogue option that lets you see Batman or the Joker here, or maybe the Joker threatens you from a distance or something. But ultimately, it's just there to kind of remind you why you bought the game in the first place. Without inventing a completely new superhero and making things weird, the game will more than likely be similar to the Gotham TV show in the way that it is trying to follow the Batman universe. Although Telltale is doing a Michonne game from The Walking Dead, so that could be their way of working on main character narratives. So if Michonne's game is any indication of the future, then we might see you actually play as Batman. But so far, it would be unusual for Telltale Games to do anything other than their regular formula for this long. Mystery Science Theater 3000 is a hilarious show where a man and two robots just razz the hell out of deservedly bad movies. It is now being brought back through the power of crowdfunding. Things like Super Troopers 2 have also seen the light of day thanks to fans. Crowdfunding is like the divine intervention of things people actually want to see, instead of conferring to some 65-year-old CEO who says that it's not worth funding. We remove the old fart middleman and just kind of decide what we want for ourselves. Bringing forth the original cast of the show, it seems they are replacing the lead man once again, although that is part of the formula to have someone new in the space station with the robots. The story seems to take place even further into the future, following an actual plotline about the original characters and their descendants.
Star Wars, anyone?
There have been so many bad movies that potentially show up on their list of titles to critique as their silhouetted forms in the old movie theater. I hope that they do Birdemic. They have to. There is no way that you cannot include Birdemic in this series. They have to. There's no way that they won't. Birdemic is horrible. That's all we've got time for. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a good week and happy holidays.